All right, welcome back to episode number 6 of Pleasant Valley 16x map. I see some people hung on throughout the break, and we're going to pick up where we left off here. It's just running I just rebooted so I could see the grass that I painted and know exactly where we're going here. But we've got a couple more factories to place, and I did take a peek. I do want definitely something down in this area right here, and it's on the railway for that district up there. So we're gonna see which other ones. We had a couple more to place. Frito. Did we do Frito? Frito, Heinz, Kellogg's. I can't remember which ones. I think we did. I know we didn't do Heinz. So let's see which ones we got left over here. Those. I thought we did one of those three. Frito is already in. So we got Heinz and the Kellogg's to bring in. And where was Dole? I don't think Dole was placed yet, was it? Frito Heinz, Kellogg's. Who gets the Dole? Oh, Dole is going to be in the central region with Campbell's and Wolfie's Pizza and the Meat Market. Okay, so onward to find uh, Kellogg's is going to be down here, and Heinz. There's Heinz. That's pretty. We'll grab that one. Bring that one over. Once we get these placed, we'll get a better idea of what we have left. There's a fence and a sign for Heinz. Let me see if I can remember where we are here. All right, just down from that factory and that building. Because I get lost on this thing. It's huge. Let's see how we fit over here. Apparently, the factory is way off in the distance again. Oh, I hate when I misclick and unhighlight it, but we'll get it over here. Just a few more of the current factories to place. We got to do the center region, but I'm still doing road. Maybe we'll jump on and put together some more of the road network down there after we get these in this section so I know where things are going to go in the center. There's a couple pieces. There's what the heck is that way over there? I do have an occasional floating trigger that's way away from the factory that I will have to move eventually. Up this way a little further. Whoa. I'm going to see about fitting this in. I don't know if it's going to fit there. We're going to redesign this, so I'll probably just drop this here because I think I'm going to have part of it be on one side of the railroad and part of it be on the other when I do the redesign. So we'll just get it close for now and move it around later. Let's see. 104. Definitely got to go higher than that. 106 point something. go. Looks pretty close to ground level. Yep. Check my markers. Actually, they look like they're underground there. Unless they're not in this group, which is impossible. Nope, there they are. 106.2. So yeah, this one's gonna definitely fill in on both sides of the tracks when we get closer. I'm gonna move it a little bit toward this one for now and up this way. And we'll give it a little bit of concrete underneath it for now. Was talking with Dan at the break, and I don't know if I mentioned this to you guys, but I'm going to be making it so fuel and seed and fertilizer, you'll be creating it in their factories, but in one central location, but you won't have to drive it to the farms. It'll automatically appear at your loading point, and everybody will be using one reservoir basically of fuel, seed, and fertilizer. But everybody will have ability to chip in and help make it. Just won't have to drive it all over the place. So that's one of the plans for the future. Thanks, Chetty. So we've got the Frito fact or Kellogg's. Oh, we got more pieces of that thing. Let's go find them. It was this way. And down this way. Heinz, that's what this one was. Heinz fence. Let's see if I grab this whole group, if that's everything. That's the fence. Remember back on PV15, the slaughterhouse and all that stuff back then that has been implemented yet? Has that been implemented or thought of being done? The slaughterhouse is on PV15 V3, um, but not exactly like it was in 15 with the extra animal types. And that is something we'll look into, but there was no uh, animal script when we did the last map for additional animal types. I know there's one out there we're going to take a look at and see about bringing. Yeah, this whole fence is going to go eventually, so I'm not really picky about where it goes because it's in the railroad. Matter of fact, I'm going to delete it just because it's annoying. Yeah, we'll look into bringing other animal types in as well. Before we get too far along, I'll do some research because they got to go somewhere if we're going to put them somewhere. And I can't design the whole map and then try to squeeze in who gets what animal. So that's something I got to look at pretty soon and figure out where they're going to go. We do have the slaughterhouse, and it does the pigs and the sheep and the cows. So it's a start, if at least if we go there. But definitely look into seeing if we have any others that we can work with. I know that the the way we had the on PV Rivers, the we had additional cow milking section and the pigs searching for truffles and all that stuff ran off of the UPK script, which I checked and they haven't done a darn thing to that since the last time I looked at it, so that we can't use that. It would have been nice. All the buildable bridges and all that stuff ran. We'll look into doing that stuff, but there's so much to be done on this map that when I get to it, who knows? Right now, I'm just still moving pieces around, and they're not even where they're going to go completely because we're going to redesign each of these factories to make them a little bit bigger. But I got tired of. I got to kind of mark out where things are going to go so we can build around them and build them into the landscape. But definitely lots of new is what I'd like to have in this map as well. Not just the same old stuff spread out on a bigger landscape, but some new stuff as well. So Frito-Lay Kellogg's. Da da da. We did one. I keep forgetting to mark it off, and now I can't remember which one it was. One of them's down here, I think. Or did we do them both? Who knows? Let's see. That's Dole. They would be. All right, there's the other one. The Kellogg's. Frito's already in place. This is huge. Where am I going to put it? I don't know. Trying to squeeze everything on the railroads in each zone. A little bit tricky. And then the sell points. I'd like to actually have like a small community area in each of these zones where there's a few stores in each of the areas. And then we'll have a few on the railroad tracks. And then, so yeah, a little like township in each zone would be nice. We've got factories here. I'm guessing that I might have room doing the same thing up here. Part of it on each side of the railroad tracks. And of course, it's off the center point. This way and that way. Sometimes it's easier to get behind it as you're moving it. Let's hope we can actually fit it in over here. I think we can. We'll work it out. And this one's going to have to be mostly behind the track. And we got a train that's going to go through it for now. But we'll move these barns around when the time comes. Can we go any further this direction? I might have to take down, yeah, I'm going to take down a little bit of this hill over here. Just so they're not sitting right on top of each other, these two factories. And yeah, that'll work. So yeah, there's going to be a lot of work, but it's the minor details, and I'm going to spend some time on each of these. So when we get, oh, few weeks probably, we'll be spending a couple hours here and there on just figuring out. I'm going to do a lot of research while we're offline, see what other building types I can get in here to mix it up a little bit, maybe redesign some of these, but they're all definitely gonna, if I find something that looks better, but if not, we'll stick with what we have and just make nicer lots and new fences around them. But that's gonna take some time, so we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. All right. Therefore, we already did Frito and we did Kellogg's. So that is that zone factories. What we have left is the central region, which also includes our fuel and our seed and our fertilizer will be rebuilt at some point. So let's go over there, take a look around. Um, yep, that's supposed to be there. So the central region is actually this area right here, and it's going to be a big, you got the off ramps. We can move some of these factories around. I got to get rid of some of this field stuff because they're no longer going to be there. We'll draw new fields where they need to be, but this stuff has to go. There's going to be a factory out here. I think, I don't know. I'll have to take a look at something in a minute, but I really would like to. Oh, my phone's going crazy. Let me see. I'm being texted again. Oh, yeah, nice. My friend just got a deer. A nice one, too. Let's see. It is eh, it's got a big rack, but it looks like it's either 6 or 8 points. So kind of cool. All right. Sorry about that. Let's see. Dave's going 16x. You know it. All right. So what I was thinking is I would really love to duplicate this whole bridge region, which is crazy of me to think that, but I'd love to put it down, another one in down this way as well and cross over the highway so I can continue that straight road. So what's it gonna take to put a bridge in over here? It's got to be turned. Did I just move that all over there without copying it? Yeah, I did. Let's move that back. So we're gonna duplicate. Yeah, it's got to have a raised piece coming in. So we're gonna need to raise it up. I'd like to cross the highway again with a bridge right over here. And I don't know if I'll do, I mean, I will do it, but I don't think I'm going to do all that today because, you know, I'm doing stuff that doesn't require patience right now. That's the stuff that, all right, I'm just grabbing. We're at 100.203. I'm going to try to line this road up. Anyway, oh wait, was that the rotation on that? I probably looked at the wrong number. Rotation 50.069, that's better. A 16x, it's going to be, that's not quite where I want it to be. So we'll position this monster by hand. It's definitely going to be a big map, that's for sure. And it's going to take some time. Now this road is wider as well, so I think it might even be, yeah, 1.7. I have a couple of them a little bit wider for purposes that are hard to explain. But we gotta do this one by hand, rotate. And we'll bring a bridge up over the highway because it kind of dead ends the road there. We'll continue that one. I'll have that probably done before I broadcast tomorrow. Right now we're gonna see where else we're gonna put some of these factories down in this whole central zone. And while I'm doing that, let me really quick text this person back. All right. Let them know that I'm doing my show. All right. So, slaughterhouse. This whole central zone is going to be built up. I want to find hopefully some bigger factory buildings, even if they're just decorative. Maybe bring back the raceway over here. All right, that's just part of the slaughterhouse, not the ground. Let's grab the ground first in the building. Thinking of bringing the raceway back in over here. That's from the country gas station. Let's see if the whole group brings everything over. So this is going to be a few different pieces. Yeah, it's got the picnic table. Yeah. So we're getting off the highway here. There's going to be the shell, the main warehouse area, and all that stuff. But we have to put the meat market, and the meat market is relatively small. I think it would be good right over here if I can position it correctly. You know, we're going to spin it around its axis a little bit. Let's see. How do we want to put that? That road piece is kind of weird. Um, Almost like I'm wondering if I could put it. I'm just messing around here. Looking for a new spot that actually fits with the road piece that was underneath it. Or I'm going to get rid of the whole platform and put something else in. Yeah, maybe I'll do that. I'll get rid of the platform for now and all this junk, and we'll build up around a nice big lot for our meat market that fits in where I don't have to try to work these two roads that jut off into some fancy schmancy thing. We'll just get rid of that for now. We've got markers around here for the other factories still. But this part here, we will keep And the ground might go too on this. I never care for having we always buried it, I think, under the ground, but the extra textured ground layer, I'm going to try to fit that over on this corner. I never cared for them because they we can paint in a ground and save the space, memory, and I'm going to move this. We'll expand the heck out of this. Maybe even put some lots behind there where that would be kind of cool, where we have the animals ready for slaughter. Now, I wonder if that ground piece is separate or not. Let's check it out. It might be part of the building. I think it is. It's all in one. All right. So we bury it or it's a fine line to get either I hide the line. I think we always hid the lines underneath. Eh, come on. Grab the arrow. That will work for now. And all this junk. Even one of our signs up there still. Put that back in over here. Get up close. See how we're doing. I think we're a little bit crooked still. And they go to the back right about there. Looks pretty good. Was there something else over here with that? Oh yeah, there was the ground markers somewhere. Now that I moved everything, I can't see the last couple pieces. We'll find them. There they are. But yeah, we'll probably make this a much bigger lot down the road a little bit. But at least we'll have things close to where they belong. And where was the other one? There it is. And the meat sign, that's right. There's a couple floating signs that have to go over that building. So 16x, I've always wanted to do it, never wanted to take the time, but I'm actually kind of getting into it because it I think we're going to be able to do a lot with it. A lot more than I previously had expected because we already have much more. I mean, we duplicated uh, the orchards and stuff. There's more orchards. There's more stuff on this map already than before. It's just, and I'm gonna redo a lot of things. I think we're gonna be able to get a lot on here. The only issues that I foresee having is uh, the space in the menus for factories. There they are. You know, this when you pull up the factory menu. Yes, we will have this ready by the time. Uh, Funny, but yeah, that's the plan, is to have it done well in advance of that coming out. I'm looking at right now, I'm thinking somewhere between March and May. Where in between there, I have no idea, but let's find that's a rough guess. Rough, very rough. Uh, we'll see. I'm gonna keep on plugging away at it until we're done. Of course, I will have 9 days in the Dominican Republic after Christmas, but I wouldn't have been here anyway because it's Christmas. Uh, and I might have to do some additional fundraising away from the broadcast if we don't get close in the next week or so to get the last little bit, which is getting close. But I gotta finish raising money for that trip, and then if I get it here, then I'll stay here all right through. If I don't, I'll be selling cookies. Actually, I think I'll make beef jerky and sell that or do something. I gotta get the rest of the trip paid for. All right. So, CM Meat, you're there. You're close enough to. Let's make a round circular place here. Although, I will have to say, I made some rum cookies once, not too long ago, with a little bit of leftover rum I had, and I brought them to a party, and they were awesome. But I won't tell you what the trick was. Now, I got a really good recipe, and then after I made these rum cookies, I basted them with the rum after they came out of the oven so the rum wouldn't bake off. That was the secret. Yeah, they were so good, and they could still get you drunk. No, it was fun. You couldn't get drunk. It wasn't that bad, but they were double basted rum cookies. Yum. With, and I used that. I don't know if you guys have heard the Kraken spiced rum. That stuff was good. Yeah, I do like doing things big. Go big or go home. Now, I just like to really, I like content. I like a map that we can play. I've never been one, and maybe I know some of you guys probably are, but when I'm farming, I like to have a game where I am playing and I can continue on playing and just not have to start over on another map, not have to jump between different games. I want a project that I can work on and not run out of what I'm doing after a couple weeks, and have everything finished. So I really started designing my maps for myself and just wanted content that and different things to do because to me, just going up and down the fields 24 hours a day and selling it directly off just seemed a little bit repetitive after a while. I just like to have enough different things in the map that, you get sick of going up and down the fields, then you could run some trains. I don't know where the sign's going to go, but it's going to go there for now. You can run some trains around, or you can mine some, do some mining, just be able to jump into your game, work on your map, and uh, not have to do the same thing every day, but you're still going toward the same goal. You might be coming in and for a couple hours chop down some trees. Then the next time you might jump in and do a little bit of farming or drive some stuff to factories or build the factory, but not have the map completed where, oh, time to find another map to work on. So that was really the way I like to play, and that's why I started designing the maps. So I had a lot of stuff to do. And with a 16x, we'll see what happens, but we might be able to get. I've got several ideas that I haven't interfered with, but we may get some pretty cool additional new stuff. I always look for new stuff. New stuff is awesome. Uh, Definitely want to bring some new stuff in. So we got CM. Check. Campbell's factory is huge and is going to be redesigned at some point. And I'm thinking that I will put it right off of here, possibly. Let's see if I get a bigger circle. We can run a road up each side. I mean, use this whole area because I want to redesign Campbell's so that all those people that didn't like those ramps going up and down won't have them this time. We'll rework Campbell's a little bit, but definitely it's going to need some space. So this looks like a pretty good area for Campbell's to go in. This central zone is the factories that all the farms are technically going to need to contribute to. So it's going to be pretty industrial toward the center, and then we'll have some shops and stuff as we work away from it. Yeah, it's good to see you, Bad Touch. You haven't been playing the farming game, huh? Yeah, I haven't either. I have a little bit in testing, but I don't play as much as I used to. I got a single player game, and so far on that single player game on PV3, I have managed to build the concrete factory, and I'm partially done with, well, the steel factory is being built. The Pepsi sign is floating. Well, we're going to get that stuff later. So I've cut down quite a few trees, but I got a long way to go. You were hospitalized. I hope you're doing better. My gosh, that's a long time. Hospitalized from December till April. Sorry to hear that. That's tough to go through. Look at the size of Campbell's. Let's just drag it over and put it Well, let's see. We're going to have to spin it around like that way. And try to... Whoa. Did I spin it too far? Oh, yeah. I want to get it so that... So hard to see where it's going when you're in a distance until I redraw the whole thing, but we're going to bring it over for now. Trach and feeding tube, and those are gone. You're able to eat a few things. Man, I'm sorry. That is tough. And I could have just imagined. I've never had to have it. I've watched my brother with cancer go through all crazy stuff. And yeah, no fun, especially when you're in the hospital that long. This whole thing is going to be redesigned, but it's going to all go in this area, but not necessarily where you see it. So we're just going to plop it here for now. Some of this was on a hill apparently because those are well buried underground. Let's see. Yeah, we'll have to rework everything, especially floating buildings. We'll at least set it on the ground for now. But this whole factory is, I'm just moving things to right about where they're going to be for to mark the areas where factories are going to be so that we can continue building the map around where the factories are. I'll just slide that out of the way for now. Yeah, this whole area is going to be Campbell's right to the back there. Thank you for the host, JS Rock. Oh yeah, by the way, JS, I took a look at those road sections you had made for me and they look great. And I might still need them in sections of this map down the road, but you did an awesome job. The fact is I've been working with the road segments that we have with this map, so I haven't needed them as I originally had planned, but I did look at them. You did a great job, and I actually have them. Uh, let's see if I go to. They're actually in the map. PV15 models. I think I put them in here. Oh no, wait, we're on the wrong map. That's why we're on this one. Yeah. The new highway. So I could easily bring them in, but they don't quite match up to this highway system. But if I need to bring in I mean, I'm bringing in lots of roads. So if I want the big highway somewhere, I can easily bring those segments in and bring the lines in. He has the lines separate too. but he created this nice long road section of the double lane highway, but took away the curve that we had. So the goal was, if I didn't have all these highways done, this would be a lot fewer segments of road, so therefore save memory. And I can, there's lots of land out there, so I'm not completely opposed to bringing them in yet. If I find a place along the border where I want to do a 2-lane highway, he's got a really nice long road segment that we can use. Yeah, they'll work great, and then the lines go on them. Good job with those. It's great to have the community out there. That's one thing that broadcasting has done. I've gotten so much help from the viewers over time just doing it. This. So we're going to have a big Campbell's over here at some point. So Campbell's is going to be over here. That's 1 and 2, both parts. So the Dole Factory and Wolfie's Pizzeria. Wolfie's is kind of going to be, well, yeah, it's a small place, but I think maybe right off of over here somewhere along the river, we'll put a nice pizza place. Let's see if we can find, actually, that's probably near the bottom of them because we added that late. But Wolfie's comes back. Get past all these roads. Wolfie's factory is and it is over there. Oh wait, that's just the center point. Oh, there it is. It's underground. That's the workings. So I'm gonna probably redo his whole building, to be honest with you. Although, eh, we'll bring it over for now. It's just that the steps and everything are built into this crazy building. Kind of weird. We kind of bury them sometimes. But we got to make Wolfie's the Taj Mahal of pizza places over here. It needs to be bigger, badder. This time, now that we're doing it before the map is actually designed, we will have a nice lot in its own spots to pick up stuff. Maybe a barn out in the back, or a bakery shop out there for making. But this will be its little building. We'll do some stuff with that. We got plenty of space, that's for sure. Let's see. Where was that place? There's lots of cell points underground. Oh, there's the doors for, yeah, we got to move those eventually. It's so many things to move. There's the museum. Oh, we got to bring the museum. Let's get the museum in a place out there. That's got to be central. We got to get that whole thing in there because we got to keep adding to it. And fortunately for me, I have been working this museum all in one transform group, so it would be easy to move from map to map. So we can easily highlight the whole thing. And let's put it, I wonder if it'll fit in this little area right here. I like it with the bend in the road. So it kind of bends with the road. We'll give it a nice parking lot this time. Almost want to push it down a little bit further, but I don't know if trying to get it so it flows with the bend in the road a little bit. So let's try it down toward this way. Not too bad. Yeah, I kind of like it over here. So if you're new to the show, oh wait, yeah, we got the angle. I want to raise it up. This is where all donators get recognition to the show. Anybody that donates gets a plaque. What have we got? $5 or more gets a plaque in the museum. And yeah, they're all in there except for the new ones. But we'll get caught up on the museum once we get to a certain point here. But so many people donated over the years that the museum's filling up. Got a couple ideas for additional displays. We got the display section that will always remain for our good friend Get Her Done Farm All Night, Stale Popcorn Farts, aka. We've got several rooms left, several empty rooms, but I've got places. Actually, I might do a lot of you guys' donations have literally gone to help a lot of people. I've been especially like this DR trip, and we bought a mattress and queen size bed, and I actually ended up getting some silverware and some other stuff for this lady that needed it. And we did the both hands project back last year in Christmas for helping a widow and an orphan. I actually, the little girl is now here in the States, and I see her frequently. We so they adopted, yeah. And I'd like to do just a little room commemorating some of the things you guys have helped pay for with your generous donations over time. So I'm gonna work that in, and hopefully we'll get some pictures from my Dominican Republic trip and put them in the museum as well, and work that all up. Just bring that back a little bit. There we go. So we'll have a museum. We got to get a vehicle shop in down in this city area. Uh, and right up here toward the central area too. I definitely want the vehicle shop around here somewhere. That's a pretty good sized lot. We can build on to that a little bit. So the vehicle shop is going to have to come up over here somewhere. We've got plenty of room. And then as we get further away from the city, these will have, like, the racetrack, I think, is going to come in right down here a little bit too. But this whole area is going to build up. We're going to redo a seed and fertilizer and stick those down in this whole central area as well. So this will fill in quite a bit. Simanguso, welcome. Better late than never. That's what I say. Or better never late. Um, let's see. So we've got the Dole factory to bring over. Now, if you notice, several of these factories, like the Campbell's, it just takes so many different products, animals from each farm. So these factories that are going to the center section were actually chosen because they require all the farms to operate um, efficiently. Like the Dole factory here, it obviously takes products from all the greenhouses and some of the orchards. And because those are now scattered out on all the different farms, in order to operate the Dole factory at full capacity, it's going to require work from most of the farms here. Let's grab the border first and we'll stretch it out like we did the other day with the other ones. So that's why these factories have been designated to go to the central area. Same way with the meat packing, because it requires animals from each of the farms. Um, it's moved in to this whole center area. I think I'm gonna put Dole right down the road from the pizza place. Pizza place, again, lots of different greenhouse items and meat items from the different farms will be needed. So we move that in over here as well. Now these factories that are in here aren't necessarily all on railroads either, but they're close by. I think we will run. I always like to put the railroad through this, but that railroad's kind of low. Is there a place where the railroad meets up over here? Down here on this side of but the main warehouse is there. Yeah, the railroad on this side. The main warehouse is right there though, so you really ship stuff into the main warehouse and you'll have to drive it across the street for a couple of these factories. The Dole plant doesn't have a whatchamacallit anyway. Doesn't go on the train. Let me see how we can do this. I'm thinking maybe we can have the road go through and oh, I don't know. We'll see. Because we definitely scaled this up to make a bigger factory. I went 1.5 by 1.5 so we can spread things out. It's not going to quite fit there. Let's try it over here. Definitely will get it fit right here. I'm just curious, what do you guys think? Do you like it if the road ran through the factory border, or would you rather have it not on this? The train is one thing, but I'm kind of 50-50 on the road driving through. We can have the road go through the factory entrance and then you just jump off the highway if I can get it straight enough and then bring in another road from back there. Or would you rather just not have it that way? Any thoughts? I'll let you guys decide. It'll work. You'll be able to drive through. Just curious, then you'll have little buildings on either side. I don't think we're straight. We're close. That's better. Anybody have an opinion on that or no? Otherwise, that's where it'll go. And then we can have the highway go through. Yeah, there's not going to be any barriers there. Yeah, I think it had a little bit different. Let's get the rest of Dole over there. these factories are going to be enlarged. So that's why I stretched out that, just so you have more room to drive around. And we'll put it so that most of the workings will be, but maybe we'll have a building or something on the opposite side of the road when we get there. It'll add a little detail to it. Let's drag this. Whoa. Here, let's go back. What are we? Let's see. Rotate 90 degrees. Did I go the... Nope, I went the way I wanted to. So far away from the center point. But the factories will be able to drive around in much more spacious area when we redesign these. Just get the stuff over here for now. Whoops. Misclick. .92 6 looks good. So yeah, that's gonna fill in there. We'll work it all around in there. There's something missing. No, no. Our markers are there. It works for now. So we'll just paint this up a little bit. We'll have to bring a couple of entrances or roads to the other entrances. Don't mind me coloring outside the lines. This is just preliminary because this factory isn't even going to look the same when we get done. So this week after tomorrow's broadcast, I won't be here Wednesday. I think if I have some time to do anything Wednesday, I'm going to be searching for some new models, uh, for new factory models specifically, and see if we can mix things up and recreate some of these in the near future. So Dole will go here, and yeah, then we'll be able to redesign these factories and just air them out. Bring in some of those barns that hide vehicles, so if you want to park stuff on the lots. We've got so many sell points and stuff to make move in mills, but this is where the main warehouse is going to be. This is sheep farm stuff still down here. That's where the old sheep farm was, so we got to bring all that over and get it out of here. I have to figure out, can we grab the sheep fence for now anyway? Let's bring it over and get it out of here. To be redesigned. Sheep enclosure. And we'll move some of this sheep stuff up to where it's going to be. And this goes way over here. The whole sheep enclosure is going to be redesigned right here. Okay, where are you? Oh, you're flying. So we'll redo some of the fence, the whole fence line and everything. Look how small the last one was. But when we're done, this area, we're going to run another piece of road right back to the railroad area here and then fill in this. But we'll have the sheep silos, some garages across here as well for the all the sheep stuff. So it'll be a much larger area so the animals can roam. Let's see, go back over here. And where was the sheep? There's a navigation mesh for one of the animals. I know, oh, it's right down here. So we've got the troughs that got to go over, the silos. I'm just going to move them up there for now. Yeah, no gates on that highway. I wouldn't do that. That would be mean. But I hear where you're coming from on that one. Gates would be awful to be going down the main road and run into a gate. Not gonna be there. Here, get the silos first. We'll come back for you triggers. Bill B73, thank you for the follow. So apparently Twitch got rid of the thing where you'd get 1 million follows, whatever that was, back a month ago or so. And I couldn't announce the followers because there was 100, even though they weren't real follows. So they must have fixed that somehow. That's good to know. We're just going to drop it over here until I redesign the sheep area of this farm. It'll be right over here somewhere. A lot of moving stuff and it's not even finished. I mean, look at all the markers on the ground over here that still have to be moved. But we do know that there, oh, I'll grab the sheep triggers after. Let's get this shelf over there. Yeah, the feeding troughs are right here too. All the loading zones, feeding troughs, all the fun stuff. I don't know why. I've already laid out most of the pig farm and I just haven't been in the mood to do the sheep yet. We will. Fence. You know, fence is just not fun to do. Moving all that fence around. And redoing enclosures for animals. Grab our troughs. Just so I know where they are when it comes time to find them. So I guess theoretically that one would be over here, but That whole fence line is changing. So we'll leave that there. It doesn't have to be good right now. Water trough. And the markers. 16x worth of space. We've got so much of it. It's unbelievable. Ground markers. What else we got? We got the other ground markers, that barn, which have to go over, and our sheep loading point there, as well as the triggers for the silos and everything else that eventually have to come over here. We'll have to look for some other buildings too for the farm animals. See if we can mix it up a little. Let them free roam. Yeah. Free roaming sheep. Let them roam free out in that field over there. That'd be a big enough field. It could be done. Beats me making the fence, but that's the quick way around it. Eliminate the fence. Oh, I haven't even worked on the navigation meshes. That's always fun. That there is a broadcast in itself. Navigation meshes. What not to do. That's what we should call it, because I hate them things. I actually, what is this? I think like map number 13 or something like that. Ridiculous that I'm making right now. And I literally will have to go back to my, either watch my videos or find reference material for setting up the navigation meshes again. There are certain things, I can't remember which pins are for which animals. The, not pins, but the channels, which channels to check off for which animals, and what the masks are to put on the buildings and all that crazy stuff. I gotta go back and redo it, even though I've done it so many times. Those things I always do wrong enough when I'm doing them that I can't remember from one map to the next. It's a struggle. What was over here? Well, we have some markers, and it usually says on the markers, sheep unloading. That's where the sheep get unloaded. Not without the trigger, but we'll get the trigger over there eventually. It's there somewhere. Hey, SenseFan 1985, how's it going? So I don't remember where the sheep get unloaded. Uh, we're just gonna put this over here right now because it's not gonna be the same anyway. I do like the gates though, and somewhere over here the sheep got unloaded, I think. It's gonna all change. I don't know if you guys can hear me as I'm scrolling across, clicking my mouse in the background, rolling. I'm not worried so much about the markers there either that tell the help. We're gonna do the help system all at once. Sheep wool. My Thanksgiving was pretty darn good. A little bit of traveling, great food, spend time with family and with my girls. So it was all good. I spent a few days away. Actually left on Wednesday, got back on Saturday night. Just spent time with the family. It's a 4 hour drive, not too bad. Clickety clickety. Yeah, if you hear it. I'm clicking away. Hammer them. I'm using a trackball, so I mean, I have it set so that my speed down here is 75 or whatever. So I'm going in pretty good chunks, which is great on a single size, but I thought about cranking it up so each move of the mouse goes a little bit further, but it's so hard to do precision stuff when you get it going too fast, so I'll leave it where it is for now. Just getting some of this stuff out of the ground is kind of nice, but there's still all the sell points and stuff that and train stations that have got to be worked on and all that fun stuff still yet to come. We're gonna stick you over here for now till we get designing my sheep area. Uh, yeah, not necessarily on top of the, and then just get the doors. Which are right here. Look at all those buildings underground still. I'm looking forward to actually getting. I like. We're gonna take a quick look. We got the sheep stuff out of here, but I do like to drive around the map after we move some things into place and just scope out the changes. Tend to show up. We got a little while yet, just because it's kind of cool to see how things are forming and drive around on the. Although we're spread out all over the place. Spend some time on each of the farms, see what needs to be landscape wise fixed and that type of thing. I do want to jump over to Mount Crushmore, whatever. That's my new name for it. It's gonna stick. And do a little bit of work on my roads before we finish up here today, anyway. And we've got a. So, future. Let's see. We've got a lot of work to do on the mountains and stuff. we've got to bring in this forest, but I got to reset up this whole forest area and yeah, rework the standard furniture company is going to I'm going to have cogent output planks and all sorts of things, I think. Uh and I'm going to rework the sawmills and use the sawmills that everybody liked that were up by cogent rather than those big ones. But there's going to be two forest areas, so we got plenty of broadcasts left. That's for sure. Let me see if I can get rid of. Is that on the terrain detail layer? Yes, it is. Some of this stuff that no longer required from the last map. And I'll see if we can, before we go, I know what we'll do. Let's see if we can connect the road system. So you can see over time, we're going to keep working our way out as we figure out what goes where and build some more fields in around these farms. Obviously, there's plenty of room for fields. I mean, look at all that empty space. Build some more terrain details in uh, and just keep working around. I wanted to check this out now. This area right up here I wanted to smooth out a little bit. This is where we're driving up the mountain. So we're coming up this way. Right up into here. And then this here area wasn't very clear that we're heading up through. Mining Mountain. Whoops. Not quite what I wanted to do. There we go. Just bring some of the dirt. We're going to have a path going through here. And then it's going to go through here. Loops around. Our stone area is looking pretty good. Alright, I wanted to see if I can somehow continue this path through and connect it back over to this side over here where the... So let me see if I can draw it out where I want it to go. And then we'll see if we can connect it. We're going to come up through here. And maybe through this way. Oh, that's going to be interesting. I just want to have a wrap around past the... Where are we? So let's see if we can make somewhat a road through there. Smooth. Whoops. Smooth. This is going to need a lot of work, but I'm going to just get the basics. through here so we can drive up this side if we want to. And we'll rework the cliffs and everything around it later. I just wanted to kind of have a connection down this side of the mountain to the coal area right there that's going to be covered eventually. Wrong way. What's the wrong way? No, that's the way I want to come through. Right through here. I think we're going to drive that in a little bit and see. That's going to be pretty steep, I think, right through there, but we'll work out the slopes and stuff later. Just making some paths through our mountain. So everything kind of comes together, right? We'll be able to drive all over this thing. Yeah, that one looks pretty good coming through. Oh, when I raised it instead of, yeah, that happens. I forget where I was. I think Popcorn Sutton's might end up back here. That's one building I haven't decided what to do with it yet. Put him back by the mines. No, we'll find out. All right, so I got a road. Yeah, so this is going to get covered right over. We got to bring some rocks in, cover that. We actually could probably make a lookout over the top too. All right, that looks good for now. And then I'm going to do one more thing. Then we'll jump into drive around a little bit. That last thing I'm doing is I'm going to finish up, if I can, connecting this road to the bridge down there. Or not the, well, the road that goes to the bridge. And that is by extending this straightaway. So this road has 100-meter segments, which aren't bad. It's not too hard to work with. But when you're doing these long straightaways, it can be a lot. Now, what I've been doing is, yeah, I'll do it straight on down. I've been doing a few sections. Yeah, we'll just keep going. I might have to replace one of these and put a couple more roads going down toward the river there. One of the things I thought about doing, which I'll have to see if I can get Big Daddy to help me on. Is Big Daddy watching? Probably not. But you guys know how we have the train splines with drivable trains. I really wanted to see if we can get a boat that I could put on a spline and make one more boat spline that's drivable boat, just like the trains work. So it has to follow but it'll be on a spline so it can actually float on the water without having issues and make a boat go up and down the river. and have a couple drop-off spots for transferring product up and down the river by boat. All right, I'm gonna need one of these doohickeys. And bring that down this long and winding road. Rotate. Uh, wow, I guessed it right. 135. Let's get it in place here. Okay. Then we move it back. Now it's not the same width on some of these, so that's gonna work there. Then we ooh, that's not too bad. I think we can shorten that one up. Oh, 1.3 is that. Let's see what we got here. Just so they're not overlapping too much. You can tell where they overlap. That works on that side. And this one might need to get a new piece. Let's see what we can do here. I don't like to go much smaller than 0.7. I think we will, it's not too bad. I just don't want the texture to look too different in the road itself by shrinking it too much. So all right, we'll go a little bit smaller. And there, looking good. Connected to our road network, looking pretty snazzy. And we'll have several shops down through here. As we go through, we'll have side road. I'm gonna have like a loop that comes off and reconnects. So there'll be a basically these are going to come down in a few segments and then run another road, so it'll be like blocks all the way through this section with several cell points, and it's going to reconnect right up there. So I'm going to save this, then we're going to load it up, save it again, jump in the map, and see what we'll do. A little bit of driving around for the next 20 minutes or so and see how things are looking. And then tomorrow we'll be back. We'll continue on and work some more fields in and keep working our way out from the farms. Maybe even move some of the sell points to new. I think that's probably what we'll have to do is try to start working some sell point locations in each of the sectors so that we know where people will be driving stuff to sell it off and move some of these sell points around. But there are going to be some new ones because we have, uh, I think we're going to bring back the raceway, as well as some of the, we'll check out all the supplements. I want them to be spaced out a little bit though, so that when you're driving on the map, they're not overlapping each other like they were. We got a huge map. We'll find areas, put a couple here, a couple there, but we'll be driving in between each of the zones. So the goal is if you're making something over here that you're going to have to travel to one of the other places to sell it. So if a factory is in your zone, we may have a sell point for that factory. All the factories are exactly right now the same as they were in PV3, just moved. So anything that was buildable is buildable currently the same way it was in PV3, but we're going to and it'll probably stay that way, but the factory designs themselves are going to be repositioned and possibly new buildings brought in and stuff like that just to make it fill it out a little better. So, hope that answers your question, Manu. Many of them are. So when we go in here, you're not going to see several of these factories. They are just the lots. And we're going to jump in once it's done saving here. I always do the save so we get the textures on the ground where we painted. And you can see I missed a big spot underneath that building. Ha. But let's jump in the map, take a little drive, see what we've done. Specifically got to head up our mountain over there too and see how that's looking. The new road that we put through, see how bad it is. We'll jump on my already saved game. Also, I brought the plane in that you guys sent me the link to. And that, we'll take a look at it, but I don't like it yet. I'm wondering if I'm going to take a look at the script. I just don't like the way it noses down when you're flying it so much. It noses way down. It makes it almost impossible. It's like you're flying a helicopter, exactly, which I think the script came from a helicopter. Um, but that really, if I can work it out, we might build some airports in. But I'll give you an idea if I can get to it. There's our chute. Did I bring the plane in? I guess I gotta buy one. I think it was under miscellaneous. Yeah, the plane here. So it drives nice on the ground. It's a pretty cool little plane. And then but it's just like you got to hit the scroll lock and taking off. Whenever you're driving forward, it noses way down. You see how that is? We're flying, but look how far that nose dips. Now, if we back up, hit the reverse, it'll hover like a helicopter, but I just wish it would stay level as we fly, not raise up so much because it's kind of ridiculous the way it is. You know, look at that. I don't know either that or I don't know how to fly it, but in order to go forward, uh, it noses up like that pretty bad. So where are we? I think we're heading. It's kind of cool way to look at the map from up here. Flies like a chopper, exactly. But look at that's going forward full speed. It's almost nosed right up, and I can level it out. I know there's a helicopter out there like this too. I'm just wondering if we could get the script so the tail doesn't raise on this thing. I don't know if I could do it, but somebody might be able to. And if we can't, okay, we're going this way. This is where we gotta head that way. Yeah, it's kind of, it'd be cool for the 16x map to have the planes, but this is just a little bit ridiculous with the way it is. So there's our roads, and this is the new one we just put in down below coming up here. So you know the Pepsi factory is back on that slab, but it's not there because it's got to be built. It would be kind of cool to be able to fly around. As oh, we got to yeah, let's hit the ground and check out a couple of these things. So our rock shoot, if anybody hasn't been here for a first broadcast, oh, we never, I do have to reposition this so it spawns more than one rock at a time. I got to remember to do that. But the goal here was with this map, the rocks, you can pick them up still, but the goal was so you could just have to push them over this edge and let them go, and it will roll down into the crusher down below so you don't have to haul them all around the map. So they'll spawn up here, and then you will roll them down to the bottom into the crusher right there. And we missed that one. I missed a while ago, the first one that's on the ground right there. I had to build that fence around the crusher. So we have the stone processing. We got to bring up all the workings for that still. But I wanted to make this road through. Let's see how we did here. You before could not go up this way, and now we got to work our way around the roads. It's steep there, but we definitely can travel pretty good clip. Maybe down into our coal tunnel, which will appear through here, and we're going to backfill this sucker with lots of coal that has Viper Trap written all over it. Yeah, it does. So we'll have some coal, a coal tunnel in there, and the whole thing wraps around. And this way, we now don't have to go off to the other side of the bridge if we wanted to race. We can go right around through and go back to the beginning. So it's literally one big mountainous mess of mining that you can go right around. It looks huge compared with the editor. That's what I'm saying. The map, the mountain is huge. Everything is huge as we go around, even the fields I'm designing, because it always looks smaller in the editor. That's why I always like to drive around. I'm going to get a truck that goes a little faster afterwards and see what we did because, oh, I don't like that color. Not that I like this one any better, but I do. Okay. Everything looks so small when you're in the editor compared to when you're not. So, give you a better idea of what things are looking like, we're going to head up here. This is the city area that we've been working on. A lot of this stuff up here still has to come out, but we're slowly expanding. So this is where the road will pass through that factory. I mean, look at the factory footprint for this factory compared to what it was. We're going to have larger factories, and the goal is to have a lot more of the product shown, piles of pallets in warehouses and stuff like that as we build these up. So the road goes through here and down into town. We have a couple of roads that go off. There's a building in the middle of that one. But Campbell's will be over there, and the shell factory, and our museum will be right up ahead. So yeah, it's very large, and then you've got this whole. We're gonna put another bridge over there too. We'll be able to head out of town or take an exit, and we're gonna build up some mountains and different things as we switch over to the next highway. There you go. So the town is taking shape. I removed that field stuff, but we're on the previous save game, so it's still there. And we've got lots of pieces still floating in the air, but Wolfies will get put in there like this whole thing. We'll see if we utilize it. Then the big warehouse area is going to be right through here with a truck stop and everything right off of this whole section. I mean, it's huge because it's going to be some big operations. Where else do we do a lot of work? So our road system that we did comes down through here. This is the new road that we just connected, and it's a long straightaway, but everything on that side of this road will be the other farm that way over there, and we'll have several shops and stuff throughout the right side of this road along the way down these little offshoots as we pass them. Who knows, maybe an ATV world, an airport, a racetrack. We've got lots of things that we can bring in. Fairgrounds, if I can find a way to do something like that, or a farmer's market, it'll be up there on this side as we go through here. We're going to go over to the fields. Yeah, we'll head over to, we're going to do a little bit of a loop. We'll go down to this farm. Actually, the farm up near the sheep farm is really where we drew most of the fields today. But we'll go around. We've got a little time here, so you'll get an idea of the field sizes that we're working on. Some of them are pretty darn big, and they will be bigger ones. As we get further away from the farms, like way out here in nowhere, these are going to be, there's going to be some pretty large fields. Once I figure out where the town areas are going to go in each segment, we got to check out that swamp up at the top too and see how that came out, where the swamp's going to go. So this is one bridge that I had to come all the way down here to cross. Some of the factories that don't have to be built are shown. All of them will be accessible, all these on the outside from the railroad. You can see it runs right along here near our Sam Adams, and they're going to be redesigned to fill out more of their slabs and just be more factory looking than buildings plopped there. So we'll see what we can do with all those designs. And there will be more roads and offshoots, and the train stations have to be built up. There's so much to do. But little by little, you guys have followed the last 5 episodes, and this one realize that things are starting to get bigger around here, more and more every day, but a little less brown, a little more green. Long way to go. So down here is one of the farm locations. The bees will be set up over here. There will be some pretty darn large fields across the road from here. But the regular fields for this, I mean, this is a smaller field. You can see it's pretty big. These are the fields for that we've put in for this farm so far. That one, we got roads to put down in between them and the vehicle staging places to draw in here and grass to plant. But there's just a few fields on this farm, with this one so far being the largest. And you could imagine it's big. We're still going, and I'm going at 51 miles per hour. That's a pretty good size field. And then there's another pretty good one over here. And if you really want to, you can connect those two together and you will see fields forever. And this is just one side of the road. I mean, we're gonna, yeah, we're gonna build the town off the other side for some sell points in each of the districts. But there's a lot of space out here because all this right here is technically prime real estate for putting fields in once we get the town in all the way back to the mountain. I mean, the mountain's still way back there. So as we continue outward, we'll get more of the fields. And but next stage is going to be figuring out our little villages for our sell points. Just little areas around the map that are, well, they're going to be pretty big, but where we can drop a few of the sell points in each of the districts so that you have, and depending on the products and how far they go, we're really going to try to focus on mixing that up a little bit better. So if you're dropping off to a close by station, then you're going to get less money than if you have to travel all the way across the map with a product. That's the goal anyway. We'll see how that works out. Uh, there's a couple factories through here. I got to figure out how to get back across the river. This whole place, I think we might need a bridge from this corner up to that side because right now the only way I know is to go all the way back to that bridge that we just crossed to get back over to the other side. What do we got? A guardrail in the middle of nowhere? Yes, we do. We'll use you somewhere later. Get up towards where the sheep farm is because that's where we really did that segment. We did most of the work today. Other than a little bit down here, it was all sheep farm. I have to go to the bridge that's way down there. But there's going to be some pretty fantastic views when we get this thing done, I'll say, with the canyons and stuff. And that is a huge river. I really hope we can get a boat spline to travel up and down, or one or two to travel boats just like the trains up and down the river here. It would be kind of cool because they're monstrous. And we got to get some of those railroad crossing things. So there's a lot to do. Distance mountains, so we're not looking out and seeing black in the distance. We'll get a lot of those brought in. And let's go up this way. Back through town and to the north side. To the sheep area. The map called Porta Westfalica has a boat you can drive. Is that boat, do you know, men, if it is, Manu, if it is on a spline or is it freely driven? That makes a big difference because the freely driven boats are not going to be usable on this map. But if it's a splined boat, I could do it. Meaning, just like the trains, it will follow a set path when you're driving it. There's a floating nugget back there. Oh man, I can't wait to put 100 nuggets around this map so you guys can find them. Yeah, this looks pretty gonna be pretty cool coming down through here when we're done redesigning all these factories. Filling in some trees and stuff, and you don't know, just read the description of the map. Okay. Yeah, I'll have to check it out. I think to get to the zone we want to go, excuse me, sir, you're driving too slow. We want to come up this way. The road system's pretty awesome through here. Lots of terrain to paint still through here too that I didn't get to. Mountain terrain, fix some of the hills around here. I don't even know where we're gonna come out. The map's so big. But I think we're heading the right direction. There's a fork in the road. I'm gonna head this way. Let's see where we are. Yeah, the Evans barn is that direction. I'm pretty sure that's the sheep farm area. Yeah, the area we've been working on with the hills and stuff. Yeah, so this is the farm set down in this nice, so you could tell the terrain rolled quite a bit around this farm, which is kind of cool, but we didn't want to have the big drop-offs like that in the middle of our field. Uh, I got a sharp edge there. We'll take care of those little abnormalities. Oh, you know what? I didn't jump on a clean save game, so my field isn't showing here. I have to do that. Let me jump on a clean save. Darn. But at least I know how to get here. All that work won't show until I pull up a clean save game. I don't care if it requires something. Oh, that's an old game. Here, delete that one. We don't need that. I don't use that one. Only save game I care about is number one. That's my single player game. But yeah, I gotta be able to see the fields where I drew them in. And take a better look at the sheep farm. And then we'll call it an evening. And we'll do it all again tomorrow. See how far we can get. We'll work on, I think we're going to work on like village, just setting boundaries for the village areas on each of the segments so we know where sell points are going to drop in. We'll do that tomorrow. We're going to have a show at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. If all goes well. And we'll do it again 5 for 2 hours and 8 o'clock for 2 hours. Because it seems to be working out pretty good for me. That way I'd get a little break for dinner and I can start early enough so I'm not up till all hours in the morning. And maybe we'll get the vehicle shop. Actually, I got to look around for cool vehicle shops though. I want to do something a little bit different with the vehicle shop. Make it a big lot. All right, back up to the corner. Hey, look, there's a cat running around in there. A lot of buildings still sticking through the ground over here. But yeah, these railroad stations and grain mills and all that stuff. Lots of moving, heading cross country. And then the clip distances on all these will be adjusted as well. So they're not, I mean, depending on where you're viewing from, they should be in view before you get there. And some of these locations are just so large that we haven't yet tackled. Where am I going? Um, I think I headed out of town on this road. Yeah. Where do you get your mods? Everywhere I can, where we need them, and if we can't, we'll modify them. But yeah, just searching websites, mod hoster, marhu.net. Um, we get them from all over the place for playing, but the ones that are specific for this map, you can get by clicking on our downloads link down below. Anything that you need to operate our map, such as this little Chevy pickup truck, that is in our mods section. Websites, like I said, just I so many of them it's impossible to list. Like Mod Hoster, Mod Hub, um, Marhu's site. I like his marhu.net. That's a good one. And several others that I have bookmarked. I don't even know what their names are. I just go to my bookmarks usually. There's just do a search for Farming Simulator mod. You'll come up with a million sites. So we're going to work this whole area out eventually so it's a little smoother as we work away from the farm area down here. But now we can see the fields that we put in and much easier to... All right, so there is a bump in this field right here that we got to take out. Whoop. But I'll get to that. Other than that, this is the one field we put in. And we go back down here to the other field that's going to be running along, and then there'll be some trees and stuff behind this. And see how the bridge is drawing in as we get closer? We need to bump up that view distance a little bit. But down here we're going to have the swamp area that we'll be filling in with some silt, and we got to make sure that you can't, yeah, well, we can drive under the water without a message. Haha. We'll have a swamp through here, and then we got to put a wall back here. Don't go over there. Whoa. Oh no, I rolled my vehicle. So I can't walk. Let me out of here. Oh man. I won't even let me out the door. I can't walk around here. I gotta go somewhere else. Darn it. I guess I'll uh purchase myself a plane and we'll fly over there. It's quicker to get there by air. I didn't get to look around all over up there yet. We're gonna fly this crazy plane. Whoa, that doesn't like to take off. Oh, that wasn't good. Oh, come on. Get up off the ground. There we go. Yeah, I could have reset the vehicle, but I'd be all the way back. Oh, you're right. I would have been at the place of the truck. I wasn't thinking. You guys are so much smarter than me. We're gonna just fly over. We've got a field on the side of the hill there that has to come out. Let's see. We want to head toward Evan's barn, which is that direction. We'll get the bird's eye view. I am no genius. I just put way too many hours into designing maps for this game for the past few years. So much still yet to learn. We're gonna fly over. There, we're over the mountains already. We're almost there. So you can see the river. We've got a couple of the factory spots, but the factories I don't think are there yet. Here, let's lower the plane. Cut the engine. Yeah, the factories have to be built. That's why you just see the empty slabs. Come on, level out. Yeah, yeah, I wish it would just level out while we're flying this. Other than that, the plane is pretty good to go. But look at, we're nose down all the time. So we're going to be drawing some big fields in down here. This is our BGA, and our railroad station will be over here. And our sheep farm. And this is our big field on this side. Here, we'll see if we can cruise. Boom. Oh, yeah, we're on ground. Now we'll use it like a car. It goes faster than, actually, it drives faster than our, so this is a pretty big field. It drives faster than our pickup truck. And it's not flat. It rolls through the hills up here, but it's a big one. And it's going to be fun to plant. A little bit hilly on this side, but I think it'll definitely be harvestable. We got to do trial passes on all these fields as we do them, because this, yeah, that might be tough right in this area. Might flatten it down a little bit right there. Did I ever try to work for Giants? No, I did not. Giants and I don't design my maps to their specifications. We overdo stuff. So I don't know. And yeah. Actually though, I've got some ideas for next year. We'll see. Whoa. Check that out. I'm going to see about trying to bring a couple people on board here for script writing and see if we can somehow get our own factory script built that has buildable factories. I'd like to have a factory script. If I can find the right person, we might be able to work something out. I would love to have a factory script that one script runs all the factories so that we can have them work with each other. Yeah, all these factories are buildable, so you don't see them and they got to be placed, but there'll be factories through here too on these lots. And we got to move the buildings around anyway. It'd be nice to, oh, I hit something. Whoa, poor plane. Can't fit it over the bridge. I have to fly over. Take it off. Oh, yeah, that's it. Whoa. We're flying. I've got some ideas for a factory script. We don't need much more, but it'd be nice to have new buildable stuff and to be able to. I'd like to be able to have a power plant that you fill and it supplies the power to all the factories, that type of thing. So be able to somehow link link them together. That would be kind of cool. But we'll wait till the next version of this because by the time I get this map done, unless somebody works on something in the meantime, it'll be a whole new thing when we start over. We'll have to start over there with the next version. So yeah, I think that's going to be it for today. We've got a lot more to go. We'll keep on plugging away tomorrow, get a few more buildings in place and see if we can turn more brown to green and stone. So keep working on this landscape until it's all filled in. And it's going to be quite amazing when it's filled in because there's a lot of detail to come in here that I have planned. But slowly we're getting floating buildings back into place. And maybe even if we can get somebody to fix this darn plane so you can land it, we could put an airport in. I mean, that's my hard landing right there. We might need to have a landing strip set up right through here so we can fuel up. But conveniently, there's enough space for a landing strip right between these factories. Wow, that thing stops on a dime. Did you see that? Let's see. If I, going 58, 60 to 0 in one half a second. Does it work? It's actually a crop duster. The sad thing is that it works, but not feasible for what we would need. We'd need. I think the modifications could be made. Number one, the nose thing. We have to make it so it levels out the nose, uh, and it's not nose down all the time. That's the main thing right there. I'm gonna come over here and purchase a pallet of liquid fertilizer, couple of them, and you can pull up here and it fills with liquid fertilizer if you can get close enough. Oh, there we go. Fill up with liquid fertilizer and you can crop dust, but uh, you might as well just drive the plane on the ground. So if I was to use this, number one, I want to take care of the nose diving thing. I would love to do that, and then I'd like to make a version that's a tipper so we can load up at the factories like we did. I still have to test this in multiplayer too to see if it'll work in multiplayer. I think it will because I think it's using several of the same scripts as the grasshopper thing. You can make that thing fly too. But if I can get it so it doesn't nose down, and if I can get it so, well, let's take off here. Let's go this direction. Taking off is there we go. At least we're flying. It does fly a little bit straighter with the weight in it. Maybe not. We'll go to a field real quick and I'll show you the sprayer. It needs to be, we're going to use a crop duster, we need to increase the width, fix the nosing down of this thing, and then I think it would be okay. Problem is right now that the width of the crop dusting, it should overspray this plane by, look at, there's cows walking in the air. See that? Oh no, that's the horse farm. Hello, horses. Granted, it flies like a helicopter, so you can Spin it around. That we won't be able to fix. This is the one you sent me. So it just needs some work. We need to paint all the bottoms of the rivers and everything still too. I just did the walls. Oh, we never. Oh yeah, we did. We drove through the swamp. I think I'm gonna put collision on that swamp plane. Maybe I don't know. We'll figure that out when we get to it. I think it was a little bit too deep. We got to raise it up a little. But when we spray with this thing, it does such a small area, and there's no. I wonder if GPS works on this thing. Yeah, apparently it might. But yeah, look at the area. So there's your GPS. You can actually set this up on GPS to do your fields. But do you see how thin the line is? We need to get this thing so it will spray conveniently. I'd rather have it unload real fast, but be able to do like a cup, maybe 3 flyovers and hit the whole field. And we can hold altitude, but we can't do it when we're moving forward with the nose down. It drives me kind of crazy. So if we turn on the GPS, you can see how small the strip is it's going to do. Uh, and the sprayer, I don't know if it has to be really far down to the field too, but yeah, it's pretty much spraying directly down. We'll get a little closer. So doing your field like this, we should be able to fly over like that, but hit a much wider area than that little tiny strip we did. It's almost painful, and it's skipping because I'm up too high or going too fast. So we need to definitely make some adjustments to crop dusting. Unless you're right, I mean, you could ride it on the ground and spray. Yeah, even then, you could imagine how difficult that would be to do a whole field like this. But it is spraying, you could see it. So we'd need to make some major adjustments to the plane to make it worth it. Although sometimes it's just kind of cool to fly around, even though it's not very feasible for doing crop dusting at the moment. We can land it by the orchard. Boom. Turn off my sprayers and park it at our house. And like I said, we can go from 61. Watch this. How fast we're going? Brakes. That's some fast stopping right there. All right, guys. Yeah, where is Big Daddy? We'll get him to work on that. Thanks for watching tonight. We'll catch you back tomorrow night. 2 shows, 5 o'clock and 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Times. We'll be back and do it all over again and continue on where we left off. So have a great night, and we'll catch you tomorrow if you can make it. Take it easy, everybody.